This video here we're going to be looking at how we multiply and divide integers. So in the previous videos we've learned about how we add and subtract integers, and knowing that rule that if there are like signs then it becomes a positive, and if they're unlike signs it becomes a negative. Now the same principle applies with multiplication and division, except instead of looking at the sort of middle symbols, we're looking at just the whole units or the whole values, whether they are positive or the negative, and we play it from there. So the product or the quotient, make sure you write these down. So again, product means multiplication, quotient means divide. Okay, so the answer of those of two numbers of the same sign, okay, or like terms, is a positive number. So it's always going to result in a positive number when we have like signs. For example, so A times B equals AB, or example being 3 times 4 equals 12. So they have two positive numbers here, they're going to equal a positive result. And the same would apply for division. So if you have 12 divided by 4, both positive numbers, that's going to equal a positive answer. The same also applies if you have negative numbers. For example, negative 3 times negative 4. Okay, so we have like symbols here of the negatives, also equals 12. So 3 times 4 and negative 3 times negative 4, they both equal 12. So the like symbols equal a positive number. This difference is when we have unlike symbols. For example, we have negative A times B will equal negative AB, or negative 3 times 4, so we have a negative symbol here, and this one would be a plus. They're unlike terms, so it's going to be a negative answer. The same applies for division. We have a negative divided by a positive, so the answer will be a negative. So I'm going to get you to write this diagram down here in your books, and it gives us a clear example of how that works. So the product of two numbers with like signs will be a positive, and the product of two numbers with unlike signs will be a negative. So draw this example down. So when we have a negative times a negative, we'll get a positive. If we have positive times a positive, we get a positive, and the opposite occurs when we have unlike ones. So negative times a positive will be negative, and a positive times a negative will also be a negative. So let's see what that looks like in action, and we'll do these example questions here, and I'll get you to copy these down in your book. So we have 5 times negative 6. So the best way to do it is simply just to do the sum and then maybe possibly work out whether it's a positive or negative at the time. So I know that 5 times 6 is 30. Okay, now I can go back and realize that this is a positive and negative. Unlike terms, the unlike terms again means that it's going to be negative, so the answer here will be negative 30. And then moving on to the next one, I have minus 3 times minus 7. Okay, we have two negative symbols, so I know that this will be a positive answer. 3 times 7 equals 21, and that is a positive number because I have two like symbols. See, we're moving on to our division now, so I have minus 36 divided by negative 4. Okay, again, two like symbols of negatives here, so really it's just 36 divided by 4, which I know will equal positive 9 because they're two like symbols. And the last one here, D, negative 18 divided by 9. I have unlike, so there's going to be a negative answer. 18 divided by 9 is 2, and because they are unlike symbols, it'll be a negative. So that's how you do those simple processes. Make sure you're looking at the positive, so the numbers in each example, and then you're doing it from there. So what happens if you have more than one or more than two values? For example, this one here. So here we have to do it across 3 different sections, and I'm going to show you how you do that. And basically you work from left to right. So when you work from left to right, you find the answer this way. So you'll start off with the first two numbers. So here I have negative 7 times 4. Okay, I know that negative 7 times 4 equals 28. So it is unlike symbol, so it's going to be negative 28. Now I can add that to the next part, which is divided by negative 2. Okay, so I have negative 28 divided by negative 2. They are both like terms, so this answer will be positive. And I know 28 divided by 2 equals 14. So when you have more than one, just work from left to right. And then when you have the other ones, make sure you understand these simple rules, that two like terms equals a positive and two unlike terms makes a negative. Thanks guys.